This video is brought to you thanks to the generous support of Artenda, a database presenting a clear and high-quality overview of art opportunities and open calls for artists.
Hello dear readers and subscribers. In today's video, I'm going to show you a couple of opportunities for artists of institutions, galleries and even museums that are looking for artists. If you're spending a lot of time to find new exhibition opportunities by cold calling art galleries, sending thousands of portfolios to numerous undisclosed recipients by mail, stop wasting your time. It does not work. Galleries don't appreciate it as they are bombarded with these requests on a daily basis. For instance, I have a very small gallery program and I receive 3 submissions on average every single day. So I would have to host 3 exhibitions every single day to say yes to all of them. It's simply impossible. One of the only accepted ways actively looking for exhibition opportunities is via art opportunities, via open calls. To find these open calls, our number one recommendation is artenda.net. Please note that artenda.net does support the creation of this video. However, I cannot stress enough that I have reached out to them simply because I was using their services. I think they are one of the best platforms out there, hence reaching out to collaborate with them, to join forces and also to add value to you. You can try out artenda.net for free for 1 month, after which it becomes a paying subscription. However, it's only the price of a single coffee every single month. And as I'll illustrate in this video, we're going to find numerous art opportunities, open calls that require no application fee whatsoever. So instead of applying to open calls, especially those online open calls with online shows that cost you 5 up to 10 euros per application, simply spend a little bit of money on using the right platform, just 1 coffee every single month to find the right ones. To conclude, before we start looking for art opportunities, if you haven't seen our previous video on open calls, make sure to watch that one next, because there I share 11 key tips to find or to identify the very best art opportunities. That being said, let's go to artenda.net and start browsing and applying.
So I just logged into my artenda.net account, and before we're going to search for art opportunities, the great thing about Artenda is that they can do the searching for you. If you go to recommendations, here you can see that you can set what type of art opportunities you're looking for. For instance, I'm currently looking predominantly for art competitions and exhibition open calls because I don't have the time for any grant projects, fellowships, or to be able to go abroad or be away from home for artist residencies, and public art is not something I do. And I am a painter and draftsman, and I'm based in Europe. They give us already a preview, so we can go through this list in this video or when we're actively searching for art opportunities. However, the great thing with Artenda is that they can also send you a reminder 3 times every single month, showing open calls that will close within 14 days. By doing so, we're staying really on top of things, and they're reminding us that there are some open calls that fit the criteria that we're looking for. And by doing so, we already get a filtered list in our inbox. So this is a great tool that Artenda is providing. Now, that being said, let's go to the opportunities to actively look for opportunities, open calls for artists, and perhaps open calls that are perfect for you. Let's start with some art competitions. So let's have a look in Europe. As we have mentioned in our previous video on how to filter for open calls, it's always very useful to really niche down when it comes to finding the right art opportunity. If we have, for instance, an open call that is applicable for all artistic disciplines, the field of artists will be a lot greater, so the competition will be a lot greater. Whereas if we go for instance, this art opportunity, where the art field is painting only, and specifically for young artists born between 1988 and 2006, we also see that there is an exhibition connected to the award, which is a great indicator of a serious art award. And we also see that there is a terrific reward in cash prize for the artist. So if we'll have a look at show more, we can find a little bit more information. Another great indicator that this is a very good art opportunity is that there is no application fee. Now let's have a look for some exhibition open calls, because this was also something that we were looking for. Perhaps this time we're going to select installation and sculpture, because we're, for instance, an artist working in three-dimensional art, and we're going to apply somewhere in the States. So once more, we're going to filter first by looking at open calls that are specifically for installation and sculpture. For instance, here there is an exhibition and there is in fact a budget of $500, and the open call is for artists that are residents of Canada. There is no application fee, and it's also associated with a legitimate arts committee. We also have some institutional exhibition opportunities. For instance, this one. You could exhibit at the Brooklyn Museum with the Brooklyn Artist exhibition if you are a resident of New York and you had your studio within Brooklyn at some point between 2019 and 2024. Once more, no application fee whatsoever, an institutional show. So if you're able to manage to get into this show via this open call, this is a great asset to have on your artist resume. Another great example is here for an outdoor exhibition specifically for sculpture. No application fee. The location is in Kenosha, the United States of America. There are no specific eligibility conditions here, and here we can also have a look at the institution, the foundation that has organized this open call. Always make sure to have a look at the foundation if the level suits with your level, if it's first a serious foundation or at a level that you want to be associated with, but also to make sure that we're not applying to something which is way out of our league. We also need to start small and kind of climb our way up with some first successes via open calls, and then having a better resume to apply to the more advanced art opportunities. Up next, we're going to look for some artist residencies. This time we're going to look for artist residencies, let's say in South America. And immediately we can find some great artist residencies in South America. For instance, this specific residency here provides a shared studio space, a private space as accommodation, and all of this rent-free. The location of the residency is in Buenos Aires, and if we have a look, there is no application fee whatsoever here as well. So instead of spending $5, $10, $15 to apply to those online art opportunities that won't get you anywhere, just invest in having an account on Artena at the price of just a single coffee every month to find these terrific art opportunities where there is no application fee whatsoever, and to work with institutions that are actually valuable entries on your resume. Next, let's have a look for some art project grants. Grants are a great opportunity to invest in your career or to work on your artistic practice while also making a living when doing so. So you're actually been given a grant to work on your art. Very often with art project grants, the word itself explains it, it's for a specific project. So very often the type of artists that they are looking for is very specific and thus very niched down. So if you find an art project grant that fits your profile, you just have to go for it. Let's illustrate this with, for instance, browsing for art project grants in Europe. Europe has, of course, a lot of institutions that are publicly funded and that are also giving back to artists. So it's a great place to find these art project grants. And we're going to look for some of these grants that really are niched down and target a specific type of artists. For instance, I believe this is already a great example. Perform Europe. So here it is within the artistic discipline of performance, which is a lot smaller than, for instance, painting or sculpture. So it's already very niched down. It is also for organizations who work in the performing arts. So if you are a performer and you are associated or collaborating with an organization in performing arts, then this is a great grant to realize some projects. This is another example of how Europe supports these artistic initiatives. This is also, I believe, a perfect example of a niched down art project grant. For instance, here we have an art project grant for fine art photographers, but very specific only for professional female photographers. So here we really focus on a niche within a niche, female photography. Once more, there is no application fee, and here we can also have a look at the overall level of the art opportunity, looking at some of the previous applicants who have received the grant. To conclude, I also briefly want to highlight this tab of the Artenda platform, where they provide online courses on how to successfully apply to these art opportunities. Because finding the right ones is one thing, but successfully and professionally applying for them to have good chances for success is another challenge, of course. So if you're having trouble with successfully applying to these art opportunities, definitely consider their online courses. There is a package deal for all 4 courses at this very moment. And if you, for instance, compare it with learning how to do it the right way, it's a lot more cost efficient than if you would every time have to submit your application to your mentor first, pay them for their time. It's a lot more efficient, of course, to learn to do it the right way.
So it is clear to say that Artenda.net is a great tool for browsing and applying to art opportunities. I will link in the description and in the pinned comment to their website. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Feel free to watch our previous video with open calls for artists with 11 key tips for artists when applying or searching for art opportunities. Support us on Patreon and please consider subscribing to stay posted for more contemporary art. Bye.